right, this is my stand-up cherry. Cherry on top. Somebody said something about being a top or a bottom. I was thinking to myself, I think I'm just in between. Yeah, I'm an in-between. Okay, here's the joke. This is the first joke I ever wrote. I was 5 years old. Here it is. The garbage can fell off the lid. And my sisters are like, that's not a joke. And I'm like, yes it is. It's hilarious. Because, and then I explained it. Okay, but this is the joke I enjoyed the most as a kid. So my teacher we had an assignment, and she said, I want you to go home and find out the 4 most important words in the world. So I went home, and I went to, oh man, am I gonna, yes. I asked my older brother, hey, what's the most important word in the world? And he said, shut up. I was like, that was typical. So then I went to my little brother. I was like, hey, little brother, what's the second most important word in the world? He's like, Spider-Man. Nobody listened. And I was like, all right. I mean, I got ignored a lot, so I just went with it. And then my mom just got off the phone making an order at the bakery, and I was like, hey, Mom, what's the third most important word in the world? She said, hop on, babe, let's go. So we went down to the bakery, and I asked the baker, I was like, hey, baker, what's the fourth most important word in the world? He said, my buns are burning. And so I went to school the next day, and the teacher said, what's the first most important word in the world? I was like, shut up. And she said, who do you think you are? I was like, Spider-Man. Nobody knows what I am. You will go to the principal's office. Hop on, babe, let's go. Go to the principal's office. And I'm like, my buns are burning. So that has brought a lot of joy to me throughout my life. And thank you for partaking. Oh my goodness. So yes, my name is Emery Carl. Emery, I got the name from my grandfather. My mom also named my sister after her mom. And I realized, I think the reason she named us after her parents was she could tell them what to do. You know what I mean? When she yelled at us, she was saying her parents' names. And I was like, I'm on to you. I'm on to you. So I learned to just never take it personal. And I remember overhearing my mom and my sisters, my mom and my aunts, wonder if I was deaf. And they're like, is he deaf? Maybe he's hard of hearing. Well, every time we call his name to do something, he never responds. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course not. It's not necessarily a funny thing, but I certainly enjoy them thinking I might be deaf. But Emery is, we all have associations with our names, and people have always been like, oh, Emery, like an Emery board. And I'm sad to say, it wasn't until I was in my 30s, I realized, I was like, yeah, like an Emery board, rough on one side, smooth on the other. Or, rough 'em and buff 'em. Anyway, nailed it. So, when my mom was 7 months pregnant, she got rushed to the hospital. They thought I was going to be premature because they thought her water broke. And they got there and realized I had just busted my first nut because I realized how close I was to a vagina. No, for real. I know this is personal information, but I seriously came out with one hand on it. I mean, and before anyone could ever tell me that you're not supposed to do that, it's just like, hello? This is wonderful. But the time, place, there's ways to be appropriate. Like, don't masturbate at the nude beach. It's rude. It's rude. I heard about this happening, and he got called out, and he looked startled. And it's more like, yeah, he came to his senses. I don't know how we're on time, but. Okay, sweet. Gone in 60 seconds. Back in 60 seconds. Man, life. What? Let me see. Oh, you know, I was thinking earlier today about being funny, like be funny. It's like, be funny. And then I was thinking about bumblebees. And what would Bumblebee do to be funny? I saw this bumblebee this morning on a flower and I was looking at it and I was like, what's up with that bee? And it had these 2 giant orange balls. And I don't know if that's a thing. I haven't Googled it yet. I've never seen a bee with big orange balls before. But I did this morning. And that's just a thing that's real.
B-balls.
B-balls. Man, there was a store downtown. They got all these sewing machines in the window. I went in there, and they had these like old beat up shoes, and they were like $250, and they were like scuffed and roughed and bent and whatever. I was like, this is like medieval hobo couture. And I realized, like, you could just make that. You could just make that. So I'm working on making that a thing. The new grunge is going to be medieval hobo couture. Coming out of Seattle. Get ready. Scuff them up. And then, and if everybody's shoes are already scuffed, there'll be no fighting in the clubs. That's a positive. Man. Well, anywho, there are things. I do have a Doctor of Metaphysics degree. I got it for $32.95 online. And I don't know what's dumber. Spending $32.95 on a doctorate degree. It is legal. It's a legal document. It's paid for. I'm a legal doctor, and it's paid for. Meanwhile, I got a lot of stuff in the pawn shop, but that's for another day. Love y'all. Love your show.